Hey everyone, this is PrinceBrightstar, and welcome back to Phantasy Star Online 2. So as you saw at the top of the screen just a second ago here, there is an emergency quest, or rather an urgent quest going on right now, and we basically want to hop right into this here today. Let's go ahead and head down here to Rebecca. Let's start up this urgent quest, Gone with the Wind and Rain. We're going to take this on extremely hard. Let's get this going. How's everybody doing today? I know that a lot of people have been having issues with getting the game working after the initial launch here. But eventually, once everything gets ironed out, you shouldn't have too many issues here. One of the more common issues, though, that I've been seeing is related to how players may not be able to access the game once they get into the title screen. What I had to do was to get past that was I had to download the Xbox Identity. I think it was called the Manager, or something like that, and that is what finally allowed the game to open up for me. It was saying that there was no user in the corner. Once I got that, I then got a prompt that basically opened up the game. So that's just one of the little things I had to deal with. But I have not been having as bad an experience as some other players have been having. But that's just the one little bit of help I wanted to share. If anybody actually was experiencing that particular issue. I know there have also been issues with lag in the lobbies. The best advice I could tell you for that for the time being, at least until we get past launch, is once you've gathered up any client orders you're looking for, just head for either Franca's Cafe or the casino, and you'll be able to start up your missions without too much lag at all. Oh hey, we got a Dark Ragna here. You know, of all creatures that were not changed, I'm surprised that this thing was able to keep its name when everything else that was called Dark was renamed to Foul. It's just a crazy... I don't know if we want to call that an oversight or what, but it's how things ended up. But as you can see, we're getting a bunch of rare drops here. This mission has kind of always been nice for that. And sure, why not? Why don't we hop into a party here? And yeah, that little bit of lag there, that's always existed. Even on the Japanese server when trying to join a party, so don't worry about that. I think what's going on here, honestly, is there has always been this bit of lag, and the Japanese team developers have just never bothered to fix it, because the lobbies had never filled up that badly before, and the one time that it did, they determined that the issue that was slowing down the servers was related, of all things, to the number of chairs that there were in the lobby. And so they had to remove chairs and completely redo things in order to actually make things work. But again, this was back during the alpha beta days of the Japanese release, so that gives you some perspective of how long it's been since they last looked at an issue like this. Hey, Red Guy. Hey, Yiffer Boy. So, if you're able to get into the game and you understand that there is lobby lag that's happening because there's so many players in there, and the game has to poll each character individually, there is frame rate slowdown, but once you actually get into missions, you're fine. It's just only in the lobbies that it happens. Just bear with it until you can get out of there. And if you can, stick to Franca's Cafe and the casino. There will not be as much lag in there, but I understand that you still need to collect client orders. Just max yourself out on client orders, do as many of them as you can, and then make a return trip to the lobby at that point. Once you've completed them.
Emergency code avoid.
But this is nice to finally see this quest back. And this is going to kind of be the last time we ever see it like this. Because in the Japanese version, when that releases very soon, it's going to be corrupted by Shiva, and so that's going to change the. It's basically going to become an ultimate Wind and Rain emergency quest at that point. Yeah, Red Guy, I saw your comments back over on the Discord. I've got the files. Just have to get them converted to like an MP3 or something like that. I know that Kuna has a couple more songs that they've sung, Cosmic Twinkle, and the other one, which was the ending to episode 4, but as of right now, those are not in the files, from what I can tell. It's a pretty straightforward process for me to tell what's been done and what hasn't been done. So the fact that I don't see any presence of them at all is pretty much evident of that.
Completed.
The other thing I'm kind of surprised to not see anything on, to be honest, is the other two songs that I was really looking forward to. We're Arcs and Rare Drop Koi Koi. I'm surprised that that's not in the files currently. But maybe that'll get patched in the next few weeks. We'll have to see.
Emergency code due.
No. Shiva is the main antagonist of episode 6.
Completed.
I'm trying to be vague about it, since we're still stuck back in episode 3 here on North America. Hello, Mr. Umbla.
Emergency!
I would like your ride, please.
Emergency code present.
Man, the players here have no idea how hard this was back in the day. Used to be like you had to get him to strike you 2 or 3 times, and if you attacked him, it reset him. So teams would constantly time him out. No luck on the rod today. They're probably on the shop at this point, though, if I'm being honest. Since this is kind of one of the first focused events for it. Yeah, so there is frame rate slowdown, but as long as you understand where it is, you'll be fine, Yiffle Boy. So basically, you will have to go out there. Oh, that was an instant PSE burst. If you you are going to have to go out into the lobby to change your class and collect client orders. But once you're actually into a different area, for example, if you start a mission from the casino or from Franca's Cafe, and then once you're actually inside the mission, there's no slowdown at all. It's the slowdown is only happening in the lobby, over in the main gate area and in the shopping plaza. So as long as you recognize that and you set your character models down in the graphics, I'll show you that after the burst here, because I don't wanna take away from this here. But as long as you set that to a level no more than 5 characters at a time, then you'll be good to go. Funny fact about this mission: the music that plays in this is actually from Phantasy Star Online. When the mission's going on, it's from over in the Goldeval Island area. I would say, given that basically all the ships filled up last night, I would say the game is in a very healthy state right now, in that this is going to cause some eyes to turn at Sega Japan. I don't think they ever expected things to get this big. And if anything, that's a good thing for North America, because that means potentially they may put more focus on it than they originally had intended. We still have to see how everything's going to play out with this, but that's at least how I see things at a high level. I understand that there are players that are angry that they can't get into the game, they're having all these bugs, but frankly, these are all the same things that players over in Japan did. And in addition to that, we don't know how many times Game Guard is triggering in all this. So I would not be surprised if some of the people that are complaining are trying to like use memory readers and things like that, which are going to trigger Game Guard and just give all kinds of errors. In terms of technical errors from the game being full, no, I haven't noticed any issues related to that. Like I said, it's just the latency in the lobbies, and once you get past needing to be in the lobby, the game is fine. It's only out in the lobbies that there's actually an issue. And as long as you understand that, you're gonna have a much better experience with the game than worrying about frame drops and things like that. Because honestly, the game has always had those frame drops. It's always been a thing, even on the Japanese side, even when the lobby wasn't that busy. It's just that Sega never bothered to fix it as an issue, and unfortunately now it's sort of become this compounded issue with all the blocks being filled out. What I will say is nice though is the fact that it didn't stop anybody from coming into the lobby though, from being able to play even though all the ships were full. And basically what the game was doing is it's basically been placing players, even if they don't have premium, into the premium blocks just so that they can get into the game. Which I think is a really good gesture that the server is set up that way.
Burst finish.
Nice that we got a good burst out of this here. So at least we got some good stuff out of this here. I saw a bunch of 12-star drops. Plus, we got all the discs that we got to be working towards at this point here, which is also really nice to be grabbing. Yeah, if anything, I don't expect that we're going to get Sachio in this version of the game, unfortunately. But if she does decide to participate, then hey, that's great. Or if they give Sachio's character to another vocal actor, that works as well. But given that those are her songs, I don't know if Sega's going to be able to work that deal out or not. Anything else on the ground? Just some Espada, but might as well grab it. Oh wow, players are still going here.
Perfect resolution.
Let me get up there with them and keep this going a little bit longer then.
Completed.
Yeah, this is one of the fun things to do, especially after time has run out on an urgent quest. If players are still triggering enemies to pop up in whatever urgent quest you were in, you don't have to stop and go up to the ship. You can continue on until every player has completed their objective. That's the point when enemies will stop spawning. And hey, by doing that, we just got another rare drop somewhere. Gotta find where it is, though. Or no, actually it was an X cube that dropped. Nice. Ah, Zeshredder. If I had to guess, somebody possibly joined the mission after the PSE burst had already gone off here. Back down to the ground with ya. The name Jaxer sounds familiar. I want to say I might have met them on PSO World at one point, but I don't quote me on that. That's just what I think my history with them was. Any of the songs that was featured as an ending theme will have two versions. There's going to be one that's sort of the concert version, and then there's also a secondary, the version that's actually used in the ending, which is actually a cut-down version of it. Because the ending usually doesn't last more than 2 to 3 minutes, while the songs themselves typically go for 5 to 6. In that case, the other thing I would say is there's also, if there is a third version, it's going to be a version that's used specifically for the concert itself. If Kuna does come out singing, and it has to do with the song needs like a 30-second lead-in time before Kuna actually starts singing, so that her regular voice lines can be said on stage. And so those versions will have like a 30-second blank area in them at the start and at the end. Alright, this is starting to look like this mission is now done for. Oh, you're talking about the live concerts. So yes, there can also be a version that's given out if you attend the live sympathy versions. Those are live concerts that happen outside the game in Japan. Those are fun. They typically do not just only PSO2 music, but also music historically from the rest of the series. But those are a different version. Usually, in order to get like the item code for those discs in game, you have to actually purchase the album.
I've been expecting you.
All right, let's see if we cleared up any client orders. Doesn't look like it. I want to go ahead and reset my daily timer here. And let's see, we got Amduskia Corral and Nightfall Sheepsheds. We'll go ahead and complete these two here. These are just straight up Meseta givers here. If you've got any alts, they're a great way to complete your weekly client orders that require you to get Meseta from client orders, or rather your ARC's missions that require you to get Meseta from client orders. We got an underground shafts exploration, blue torb and blue shells. That one's kind of always fun, since there's so many of them around. Koyoda Idita, we run across those every now and then. And I'll go ahead and grab the Sylvants and the Fang Banshees. The Garongos, they can be kind of rare to come across, so I usually don't grab that one.
Drop by any time.
Alright. And then something else I wanted to do was I wanted to head into my wardrobe here because I need to put on a new outfit. What can I say? I love getting the free star gems from these. Let's see here. I know what you're talking about. You're talking about the instruments that could be put into different, into your rooms, correct? Yeah, the ones, for our fighting. Funny thing about that, that is one of the most complicated songs, put together in the My Room, or rather, in the game, actually, because there are so many different files that, had to be produced for that. At least when I look at the raw data for it. I don't think I ever had the Endless Story one.
I'm here.
But on the Japanese side, I do have a full set of the instruments.
Which quest are you up for?
Alright, before we proceed here, I do want to check my shop, see if anything's sold. Regrets did sell. That's nice. Come to think of it, now that we've got 11 to 15 star discs, that's actually going to free up a lot of space in my other characters. Just because I've been hanging on to or level 9 and level 10s just because I wasn't sure if we were ever going to see level 15, 16, 17 at this rate. But now that we are, I can pretty much just start to just trash a bunch of these and free up a bunch of space for myself. Alright, I did want to check the, what's being sold on the market right now. It's come to my attention that, the Slave NT series is actually in the game, and don't take that the wrong way. That has nothing to do with what you think it is, it's just the name of a series of weapons in the game. And as of right now, that's actually looking to be one of the most powerful weapons in the game. And I am actually pretty close to being able to afford one. If I was to dump my money into anything, that's what I'd want to dump it into right now, because that is a significant upgrade over my Lightning Espada. At least until the next round of weapons comes out. Because that's like Episode 5 level stuff there, in terms of powerfulness. Because after this, then you start to look into, like, the austere stuff. Nymphs, I actually have not left the Japanese version. I still have my account over there. I'm just waiting for the next round of content to come out. With everything that happened, the North American version is kind of where everything's been for the time being, so that's why I jumped over here, but also because, you know, I actually wanted to have a place that was easy to access for fans of my channel, so that we could all be in an alliance together. Okay, so if I'm gonna do this, I need to actually jump over. Actually, first, do I have anything? Yes, I do. Okay, so then I can afford this right now. Now, before I grab this, I want to look at the rest of the swords and just see if there's anything on the others that I might want. Like, has anybody actually properly built any of this up? That's not built up. That's not built up. Nope. And no. Yeah, so this is the one. And these are rare enough that, you know what? Let's do it. Slave Caliber. And the thing is, from most of my characters, I have yet to collect the weekly Meseta that I would get from them. So I'm gonna be right back up in the multi-millions pretty quickly. Alright, so first thing I'm gonna have to do is I need to grind this thing up, of course. Now, I don't really have too many weapons prepared to do that. But of course, 12 stars will help with that. Okay, so yeah, what we're seeing right now, this kind of lag, so the lobby isn't even that busy right now, but we are still getting the lag, so that's what I mean. Even on the Japanese side, there is still occasional lag that happens. Alright, so we need to grab purple flower from Frog Rappies.
Bye-bye.
We just got a bingo. And we got two things left here. We need that purple flower, and we need this one to enhance a weapon's element. Now, I'm hoping what that's referring to is just stacking two weapons on top of each other. To find your bingo card, what you would do is you would come under this here, where the globe is in your menu, go down to current events, and then Ark's bingo card is right there. Alright, so what I want to do is I want to find a couple of weapons here that have the same element here. So this couple of Jagwraith should do here.
What do you need?
Yeah, once again, in terms of going for the Slave Caliber, since we still don't have access to any 12 stars at this time, I mean, we technically do, but the rate of drops on the badges is just so low that it's not even worth it at this point. This is the better investment for the time being here. So, this should increase the element level, and there it is. So, the mission said to increase the element level, so let's see if this works.
You have some amazing luck.
And it did. So then the only thing that we need at this point is to find a Frog Rappy, and I think I know where we can do that. Let's go into the Fresh Find shop, since as soon as I woke up, I basically went live here. I didn't even have a chance to look at this here. Waistbound apron, tuxedo black, skull belt, and ribbon. None of these really catch my eye. Oh, that's a shame. They haven't put the triggers into the rotation yet here. This is still the mining base. Yes, I I actually keep the video off all the time, so that's why it's dark over there as well right now. I figure, why even bother dealing with anything extra that's popping into the game like that? I mean, the only time that it really ever does anything is if you're gonna be watching one of the live concerts, then it would show up on the monitor back there. But the rest of the time, it's just gonna be like advertising for different campaigns and things like that. In fact, I don't even know what they've got on the screens right now. The last time I saw that on this version was back when the Sonic movie was playing on screen back during the closed beta. Ding. So yeah, yeah, that's just where we are right now. Featured quests were introduced with the start of episode 4. Right at the start of it, actually. Really? I wasn't aware that they had added... Oh, wait, you're right. I'm forgetting the Vita one. Yeah, so it would be... Yeah, the original opening, the Dark Falls encounter on the Snowy Mountain, the Tower Defense opening, and the Magatsu one. It would be surprising if featured quests don't make it over. I'll put it to you that way. Alright, so, we need to find ourselves a frog rappy at this point. So, what I'd like to do for that is see if we can maybe force the game to give us one here. You might remember this extreme quest from yesterday.
I wish you the best of luck.
And I have been completing those, but I think if we go back to the original one, I think there's a frog rappy in that last in stage 5, and that might give us what we need here. So let's do a shift to drink premium 2. Alright, and... I think that's all we need here. So, let's go ahead and get this going. Yeah, the game definitely has an accelerated rate of everything happening right now. Alright, so for this one, we can't take any damage for 30 seconds from any of the Niaos. And this time I am literally going to be playing Keep Away with them. Just like I do at Stage 9 as well. Because there's really no reason to risk a miss here. Five seconds to go. And we're clear. Yeah, definitely the servers are a lot calmer than before. I mean, we'll see what Sega does if they do give another 2 servers tonight or not. Alright, that just leaves Surfer Niao. Or Summer Niao, rather. He's gonna chase me out of the stage. Oh yeah, I completely agree with you there. Episode 1 was kind of weak. Episode 2, things started to come together. Although, like I said before, I think they replaced the actor for the for Persona at one point. But other than that, yeah, it's Sega's definitely putting a lot of effort into this. Alright, so we got we need to take enemies down from the front this time. And of course we got the Knight here again. This was the, like I said yesterday, the really surprising collab here. Because this guy comes from Shining Force, Cross Exclesia, which was an arcade game over in Japan. And so I suspect the reason they didn't even announce this collab was the fact that it was just the fact that we never had that game here in America. Whoop, whoop. I do not want to get behind him. There we go.
Talking about, we're gathering some killer data here.
There's no evidence that Sega of America and Sega of Europe are helping this game. It's all down to EST Soft, actually. As a Braver, you want to look at getting a Dex Mag. Alright, so we need to destroy 3 sites on this guy. This was horns and wings, I think.
Ta-da! Here's the
But let me clear the area first. Okay, got a horn. Got a wing. And... Alright, need one more wing.
This is what I am
There we go.
about.
Okay, now we can finish him off.
Killer data here.
Stage clear.
Alright, moving on to the next stage. Episode 3 is where North America is currently, but we're like right at the start of it. And unless you're talking about the story, at which point you're able to complete all of Episode 3. Let's see, take down 5 Banta Berdabi from the weak point. That's right, this was the one that tripped me up yesterday. But now I know how to handle it, because these guys don't even start moving
Stage order.
until they get hit. So I'm actually just going to kind of sit tight for a quick moment here. Okay, so now that's 1. That's 2. Melee does help other classes, but it really comes down to what classes you think you're going to want to play in the end. For myself,
What I am talking about.
what I did was I've got mags for each of the main stats here, so For me, it doesn't even become an issue. Granted, if you intend to be just a free player, then you're going to have to pick and choose, but you are given 3 characters, and the easiest way to do it at that point, then, is to create a melee mag, a ranged mag, and a dex mag. The only thing that a tech mag really helps you with is if you main a force. Let's see here. Okay, yeah, so... Okay, so of all the rappies on the list here, I actually don't see a frog rappy in here, unfortunately. So it doesn't look like we'll be able to actually complete that then.
Stage start.
Go ahead. What's your question?
Here's the next stage order. This is what I am talking about. We're gathering some killer data here.
It is account bound. So once you do it on one character, it goes across everything.
Stage clear.
To collect your daily logging bonus, go to the console that has the question mark above it. And that will then also have an exclamation point when there's something available for you to collect. And you just go into the list, and I think it's the second to bottom option. We can double check that once I get out of here. Correct, yes. And then that way, you'll have one character that's focused on melee, one character that's focused on range, and one character that's focused on, well, it's more sort of on those specialty mags, or specialty classes, and that specifically includes Bouncer, Braver, and Phantom, whenever Phantom comes out. Alright, so in order to actually finish up the bingo card, it looks like we're going to have to encounter a frog rappy out in the wild somewhere. But yeah, so this lobby is not that busy right now, but there is the lag still. And that's just how the game has always been, ever since it was introduced. Let's see. So it's yeah, it's right here, and you go under receive campaign items. That's where you would go. How many parts? Casts have a good number of parts that they can choose from. They all come in series. But if I go under here, for instance, this is a good number of what I've got for my different characters. So anything that's in blue here came from a mission pass. And then, let's see, we've got the Exogia series, the Rollock series, the Dracul series, the Dighu series, the Volgulus series, Gigante series, Alberica and Rasios series, as well as I think it's 6 more that you can purchase from the shop up here in the shopping plaza.
Which outfit suits your fancy?
Let's see. Yeah, the Ronia, the Dista, and the Foma series, and some of them have a color variant on them as well.
You're always welcome.
Yes, Red Guy, that is a... Let me put it this way, that was a very difficult quest back in the day. They've relaxed some of the timers on it since then, but you need to get, in order to get full completion on it, you do need to get 1,000 points on it. What I will say is, back in the day, I put together a series of videos that was based on every single path that you could take in that, because it used to be you weren't matched up with only a Finn. You would also be matched up with Sarah. You could be matched up with Patty and T. You could be matched up with Oza, with Marlu, and Risa. So, depending upon which path, or rather which character you took, you could get like new partner cards and such. But in this day, where the omnibus quests are now in place, now only a Finn is the only option. Let's see. I would say we're probably still going to get bonus quests just because those are super useful in helping players to level up. I'm kind of surprised we didn't have them from the start, but at the same time I kind of understand as well here that players do need to get their characters leveled up, and they need to learn how the game actually works. And the way the Ark's missions work is you can go from like level 1 to level 25 or so without really even doing that much in the game.
Welcome.
I'm over here because I wanted to grab some more of the rare drop rate boosters.
Thanks for your business. Need something?
And then
Uh,
I need to
leaving
check
already?
where I am on these other client orders. So now that's kind of surprising because I remember doing some stuff in Naberius yesterday when I was with Xance. So why don't we head back out to the corrupted
Which quest
Nefarious
would you
then?
like?
Let's see if this is like some sort of a bug or something. Since I don't play a tech-using class, usually I don't need this immediately working, but I do at least want to verify if this is a bug or something. Because I would want to make note of it on Day Dawn's Arcs later this week. Alright, and I did get a bunch of new stuff here while we were going through the last, through the rainy mission, so I do want to put all these on now. There we go. Oh, somebody's calling for a rare boss. Let's see what it is.
Emergency.
Oh yeah, that's definitely rare. A Vomos Rodifus.
Emergency code.
Was he a bro to the other Griffins? I need to get boosters on. There we go. Yeah, I don't think the battle pass is going to replace them. I think it's no, you're not annoying at all. I think we're going to get the bonus quests. It's just they were not introduced until episode 4, and we're still back in episode 3. So it would be weird to have players go do a bonus quest when they would end up in Tokyo right now, or to the Magatsu battlefield, or so yeah, that's why we haven't gotten those yet. Alright, what did we get for a rare drop here? Just another Sigma weapon. You know what? I'll be taking my, I'll be reducing what I'm able to do here, but why not? Let's go ahead and throw on that, that new weapon.
Attack.
Oh, looks like the group turned around here. There's a frog rappy. And thank you for the purple flower. Yoshi P has confirmed that he is interested in making it happen. Specifically, actually getting a Final Fantasy XIV side to that collaboration now. So it's just a matter of time. They have to figure out when they can do it in their schedule, and then at that point we'll likely actually have the event happen. I need to check what element this weapon is.
You did it!
Where is it? Here we go. It is fire, so I'm gonna have to change that over to a light weapon at some point.
Completed.
Granted, fire isn't the worst one to have. Oh yeah, going into the featured quest and actually having the badge drop on the ground rather than as a crystal at the end. I completely agree. I prefer those missions where things just drop on the ground than having a crystal at the end. That's not something that was introduced, I want to say around the time of episode 4 that they started doing that. And ever since then, you've had an occasional mission where things drop on the ground, but Sega has tended towards getting the end crystals out instead. And for my thoughts, I think it's always been a poor way of doing things. I mean, I get why. You want to make sure that players are participating throughout the entire thing. I don't know. I just rather have things drop on the ground. I guess it just reminds me of PSO back in the day. We never had these fancy, get to the end and you get a crystal. There was like 1 or 2 items that you might get at the end of things, but it was never all your drops from a mission. Cass, I believe, were able to equip the armor. I think it was layered wear by that point. And that's an important distinction. Cass are able to wear layered wear, but they're not able to wear outfits that were not designed for Cass. Alright, we got Anga Fundage bits here.
Emergency. Code. Disaster.
Alright, I'm gonna switch back over to my main weapon at this point here. Lightning Espada. One of the reasons I'm still gonna keep the Lightning Espada around is the fact that I do get, health back. Whenever I hit either a creature that's weak to lightning or, weak to light. Oh, hey, we got a chance at a PSC burst coming up here.
Change over. Code. Q.
That sounds a little late to me, but you might be right.
Objective complete.
Completed.
Alright, I'm gonna start to head for the exit so I can, bank this quest and, make sure that,
Emergency.
we're done with the, bingo card, at least the front side. Yeah, I am not starting into that. There's the Dio Kuno.
Emergency. Ears open.
Emergency. Code. Q.
One of the things about this boss, if you aren't aware, you want to try to break their weapons if you can. That's what weakens the shield that's on their center point there. Let's get some photon points back. Go ahead and pop a photon blast through this thing. There we go. There is no specific class for the Gunblade. Gunblade is actually going to be getting its own class in the near future on the Japanese side, and then we should see that later this year here in North America. The Gunblade as of right now is really not the kind of thing I think the best way to put it is most of the community laughs at the Gunblade right now. Because it's always been sort of this all-purpose weapon that anybody could use, no matter what their class was, and it's not really possible to perform at a high level with the thing. But I would say, if anything, your best bet, if you still want to go down that path, you'd probably want to stick with a Hunter main, just so you at least get as much damage out of it as you can. Alright, they're doing this attack again. There we go.
Excellent job. You are clear to return.
Completed.
In terms of a subclass for trying to go with the Gunblade, your next best bet on that would probably be... I think it's going to come down to if you want to be able to use techniques at that point. If you want to use techniques, then go with Summoner. Otherwise, go with Fighter. Yes, it's going to be like the new classes. We don't know too much about it. Basically, Sega has shown a trailer for it, and that's about it. There hasn't even been any play testing with it yet by the public. Summoner is a good class, especially for this point in the game, where technically Summoner hadn't even been introduced to the game yet on the Japanese side, so they're a little bit overpowered right now.
Hello.
Okay, let's hand this in now. And now Zia has some new client orders, it looks like. Forest Fire Crisis. We can actually get those done, though, from the floating facility, actually, so we'll go ahead and do that. Alright.
Bye-bye.
So, that finishes up that bingo card. And then we go under current events. Interesting, that did not unlock the back portion of the card. Alright. Well, at least the bingo card is done for now, then. For Summoner, I think what I've read in the past is Fighter is good for it. I would actually recommend you take a look at some guides online, because most of your power is going to come from your pets and not really from any kind of subclass or anything like that. But Fighter at least would let you, for example, position yourself and your pet in such a way to be able to get more damage out of it. Let's see here. If the camera is too close, what you can do is use your number pad plus button, and that should zoom it out for you. Do we think will ever get one-handed swords in the game. Vagabond231, thank you for the follow. One-handed swords. They kind of exist. They exist in the form of Tector weapons. And even though those are mostly, even though the weapon type is called a wand, there are some that are shaped like a single, like a one-handed sword. The Lavis Cannon is one that actually comes to mind. And that's actually one of the more powerful weapons, since when you do your 3-hit combo with that, the last hit generates an extra hit when you're using the Lavis, using the Lavis saber. I want to hit this stop here, get some unteching done.
I got a good look at it.
Okay, that's a decent spread.
Take care now.
And let me grab the rest of the special weapons I've got.
Leave it to me. Oh, this is a great find.
Alright, a bunch of 7 stars in that. And let me check the 2 eggs as well.
Oh, this is a great find.
Doesn't really do much for me.
What do you need?
Let me grab a 6-star egg.
Come again anytime.
And I think I had some eggs as well already in here. Yeah, right here. Alright, so let me go ahead and feed up my pets here. And the Wanda as well. Okay, they are maxed on experience, but they'll still gain some stats from this. I have a 9-star synchro, right? Yeah. Actually, I'll save those eggs for Sally instead. Okay, that's right. I wanted to use this here, pull-out camera. This is kind of a fun emote I've used for a while on the Japanese side, actually. Let's see, where is it? Here we go. Yeah, my hands get in the way a little bit there, but it's cool.
I've been expecting you. Drop by anytime.
Alright, nothing completed there.
Which quest would you like?
Alright, let's get back to that extreme quest. I want to finish up the number of times I can run that today.
I wish you the best of luck.
And I did a little bit of math in terms of what I'm going to need to do in order to actually get all the titles associated with this. I need to run this for 7 days, and that's going to be the equivalent of around 35 extreme passes. I can't afford that right now, so that's at least a good thing. So I'll be able to just knock this out without any issues. Although if I miss on that 4th stage, I'll have to restart. Let's see here. Tooldar, there are in-game systems that do help you initially, at least learn where everything is, but there is going to be a learning curve in terms of learning how different attacks work, because this is not your traditional MMO. It's not a tab targeting MMO. It is more an action game than anything else. And so you kind of need to learn like enemy tells and things like that, figure out when your invincibility frames are, and things like that in order to be effective. No, I'm at max graphics right now. Alright, let's go ahead and get this started. Alright, so this was taking down 2 enemies from their weak point. Let me get that camo back on. There we go. Your best boy. I'm running on an RTX 2080, so that may be part of it. What I would recommend is, if you're not at 60, try going out to the, try leaving the game, and when you go into the launcher, there's a setting for environmental settings. Try dropping that down 1 or 2 levels, and see if that improves things for you. You can't download it on Windows 7, but I've been hearing from the grapevine it might actually be possible to run it on Windows 7 once you get it downloaded, so we'll have to see. And the only reason that would be the case is also partly because the Japanese version, technically you can still run that one on the Windows 7. And since all this is based on the same code base, I don't see any reason why that wouldn't be a thing. You just have to figure out a way to get your Xbox information into there first.
Stage start.
Ta-da! Here's the next stage order. This is what I am talking about. We're gathering some killer data here.
Stage clear.
Yeah, I don't know what graphics card you've got. So that's going to a 1660 Ti. Yeah, there's no reason that you shouldn't be able to run that faster then. Are you still having those low frame rates even out on the field, or is it just in the lobby? Because if it's just in the lobby, that's kind of an expected thing right now, actually. Just because of how low the lobbies are right now. Alright, for this one, can't go down.
Stage start.
Ta-da! Here's the next stage order.
Alright, let's bring on Luther. Oh, if you're using the benchmark to actually test it, the character creator, keep in mind that was introduced several years ago, so things have changed a bit since then.
Stage clear.
This is what I am talking about. We're gathering some killer data here.
Beyond that, if you're still having trouble, maybe try updating your drivers for the graphics card. Alright, so for this one, I can't heal. Most people will group up. There are certain missions, like this one that I'm running right now, that you have to do solo only, and that's by design, but generally this is a grouping, game.
Stage start.
Ta-da! Here's the next stage order.
Where is the last one? There it is.
Stage clear.
This is what I am talking about. We're gathering some killer data here.
Yeah, Shiny, it was kind of that way across all the ships. All the ships filled up last night. But at least players were still able to get in, even if all those issues were happening. That's why I'm saying it. As long as you don't have to do anything in the main lobby, stick to the casino and Franca's Cafe for the time being, because there's going to be a lot less of a load in there. I understand you're going to have to go out there for like client orders and such, but at least once you collect those up, just go ahead and stick to Franca's Cafe and the casino when you actually want to start up your missions. And then the other thing is to adjust your graphics down for the time being, so that you're not loading as many other player character models. Once I'm done with this, I'll show you that. And I know that I'm running around these two right now. That's just how I deal with this stage before I actually attack them. I can't take any hits, and I figure might as well just take it safe here. Especially because if I get hit, then it's going to be impossible for me to complete the next stage.
This is what I am talking
There we go.
about.
We're clear.
We're gathering some killer data here.
Obliteration and fall. Nuisance. A waste of effort.
Stage clear.
Alright, so in terms of where you want to go to adjust your graphics settings, you go into the options, you go under graphics settings, graphics display quality, and then you can just turn this all the way down to 5. I keep it at 12 just because I'm generally able to handle that without too many issues, but you can just lower it all the way down to 5 to reduce that load. You can also turn reflection quality and shadow quality down as well. And then turn these back up once you're out in the field. And then there's also a way to turn off other players' accessories. Where was that again? I'm having trouble finding it, but I know it's in here. There's a way for you to turn off other players' accessories so that those don't load as well. Alright, let's get into this one.
Stage start.
Ta-da! Here's the next stage order.
Not bad, bonehead.
And I learned that this guy actually does not become resistant to your weapon unless you actually fail the prior stage, so I'm just taking him straight out here. Rather than doing the whole rigmarole I was doing yesterday. Alright, now we're waiting for Diohunal to show up. This will take a second. Any class is able to clear advanced quests. It all comes down to your skill level, basically, and making sure you have appropriate gear on. Okay, there goes that one, and final enemy is coming up.
Stage clear.
There we go.
Is that a little difficult for you? No worries.
Yeah, that guy likes to turn around a lot, so it's it can sometimes be difficult to hit him from the front there. Let's see here. Yeah, I'm still on the Japanese servers as well, but for the time being, until those sort of get their next major update, I'm over here on the Japanese side. I don't think I've gotten one of these absolute blades yet. I will grab the Dio Ardillo, and what else do I want? Let's grab the photon crystals. Oh, so advanced quests open up once you hit level 40, and then once you go to the quest counter, it'll show up as part of the list that you can go to. It'll show up like this here. Alright, let's head back out to the lobby. Yeah, you're gonna get to learn Coffee a lot, because she's the one that unlocks a lot of the features in this game. Alright, Title Keeper. So, something I learned yesterday that is actually coming up pretty soon, apparently, is challenge quests have been listed on the list of titles here. And that's good news, because that means we're going to be getting the shared ship pretty soon as well. The way challenge quests work is they set your level back to level 1, and you pretty much live off the land in those quests. So it's very close to what the original challenge mode was back in Phantasy Star Online, if you ever played that. All right. Did I ever get any points into these client orders here? Okay, I was getting some this time. Alright, that's good news. So, in that case, let's see. Let's clear up this one first. Which is going to take us over to the floating facility, and then we'll head back over to the corrupted Naberius then. Don't need my boosters going for this one. I just need to basically just run to the end and take out the bosses.
Emergency. Code. Distraction. Completed.
This one appears to have an unusual layout here, but there's the exit over there.
The alert level has risen.
OP classes, I would say you're going to be looking at your Hunters, your Rangers, your Forces, and Summoner as your OP classes right now. Alright, let's get some attack booster going, and let's get in there. Hey, Night of the Wolf TV, thank you for joining.
Incoming alert.
Emergency. Code. Due.
Bouncer is also pretty OP if you can get the proper setup for it.
Objective complete. Success confirmed. Return when able.
Completed.
Alright, that clears up that client order. To set a photon art, what you do is you go to where your equipped weapons are, and then this will give you what weapons you currently have equipped, and then you select one of the boxes that you want to set the photon art to, and that will then pop up this list of which ones will actually be appropriate for it, and then from there you can then just choose the one that you want, and that should then clear that client order for a fin.
Hello.
Alright, let's hand this one in. And it looks like that's it for all of Sia's client orders
Bye-bye.
here. So we are pretty much good to go at this point. Let me go ahead and grab these ARX missions here. And then, yeah, I wonder if Hans ever got their updated list of enemies here. They did. Okay. So they've got new client orders here, designed specifically for the new areas that were introduced to the game. But it looks like I'm holding a few too many right now. Let me see if there's anything I can get rid of. Not really. I would actually need to clear some of these here. So why don't we look at that then?
Which quest would you like?
before we head back into the corrupted area. So we're gonna head over to the coast. We'll take this on super hard. And let's grab some NPCs.
I'm thankful to join the fray.
Yay! Let's do this! Be careful, Kay!
Tune of the game. Currently in Time for War, we've got 77 members out of a maximum of 100. Some of them, we're still waiting for them to come back from back during the closed beta test and the open beta test. It's possible some of them may not, so of course at that point we would look to replace, but we're trying to get up to 100 first before we do that.
Picking up multiple readings.
Now for this mission, I do need to attack the normal enemies so that I can get a proper clear on this mission. But if you're looking to hop into the Alliance, we're open to you coming in. Are you on ship number 1? Yeah, we'd love to have you. Just make sure you select ship number 1 when you create your character. Alright, let's make our way over to the second area. When do you think you're going to have that character made? Like, are you already loaded into the game and you're trying to create it right now, or are you still downloading?
Gosh, I think something's coming.
This is too easy for you.
Alright, well, just let me know once you do have your character created. Let's see here. Unfortunately, I can't speak to the servers like that. But what I will say is that once you're done with the 11 gigabytes, you're not done with the download. That's just the first part of it. After that, then you need to open the launcher, and then there's another, I think it's around 70 or so gigabytes that you have to download from within the launcher. Basically, what comes down in the main launcher is all the movie files, but then it still has to download all the game assets from there once you're inside the launcher.
Code. Attack.
Emergency.
Hello, Dark Ragna.
Change over. Code. Due.
Congratulations on completing the objective.
Completed.
So if you're at that point, you likely won't be able to actually create your character for a little while here. But in terms of how slow the servers are going, I will at least note that, you know, the response to this has been absolutely immense. It's gone way beyond what Sega expected. If they had expected this, they would have opened other ships.
Emergency!
Emergency. Code. Attack.
Yeah, nice one! You did it!
Alright, moving on to the last area. Time to take on the boss.
Incoming alert.
But yeah, if I'm not streaming when you want to get in, just look for any of the members of Time for War. We'll be able to get you in. Get over here again. And down they go.
Objective complete. Success confirmed. Return when able.
Completed.
Alright, so we'll go ahead and hand this client order in. And then we'll grab another from Hans, and then we'll get over to the corrupted area again.
I've been expecting you.
There's that one. And that one.
Drop by any time.
Alright, Hans. Let's grab that. And we'll grab that. The other three are for the Lillipa area.
Later.
Which quest would you like?
Alright, Ultimate Quest, Nefarious. Let's get in there. Oh, I actually want to join a group if I can. Taking a moment to load up here. Let me clear up some space here before we go down. Put that in there. Yeah, we'll put all these over here. Okay, cool. I think that's going to send you through the tutorial first, so that'll take you a little time to get through that, but then, once you're through that, then, let me know. Unless it lets you skip it. I wouldn't want you to skip it unless you've actually created another character elsewhere first.
Incoming alert.
Emergency! Code! Disaster!
Objective complete.
Completed!
Nice, Twister drop level 15. I'll use that right now. So in terms of endgame stats, there is very minimal difference between the characters' races, so just go with whatever you want. If you want to have a character that can wear cast parts and look like a robot, then go with a cast. If you want to have a horn on your head, then go with the Dooman. That's basically what the difference is. We got a big attack coming up here.
Emergency!
At least somebody's trying to get over here. That sucks when you start to hold down the button and trigger the compound technique and then there's no enemies around.
Code! Attack!
Yeah, sorry for the bad resolution here. If I could, I would push my bitrate up to 10 megabit per second, but Twitch doesn't allow me to do that. If you're watching this after the fact on YouTube, though, I record at over 20 megabit per second locally, so that's why this is looking better to you. Okay, there's one of the client orders.
Completed.
There go my boosters. Let's go ahead and pop them again. So there are always new cast parts coming out. That's not something that ever really stopped.
Emergency!
I mean, coolness is going to be down to each individual person what they think is cool in the end.
Emergency. Code. Disaster.
Wow, a lot of people got hit there. Alright, phase 1 is done.
Congratulations on completing the objective.
Alright, so that completes that one.
Completed.
And on we go.
Emergency!
Emergency. Code. Attack.
Yeah, nice one! You did it!
Completed.
Wow, they just got dragged right up the side there. So to unequip the cast body, all you do is you go to the leftmost part here, and you say remove, and then that will take you on to whatever you've got for your layered wear instead. As for the proportions, I believe those stay the same, aside from how much of the cast shell you actually have. So it's possible to still have kind of a scrawny body inside, but for example, your height may still be the same. We might have a crystals trial coming up.
Emergency!
Emergency. Code. Attack.
Unfortunately, it doesn't look like people yet know what the crystal trial is. The crystal trial, if you manage to complete that successfully, increases the chance that you're going to get a PSE burst. And of course, a PSE burst then brings on all these different enemies all at the same time to your area. Alright, there goes that one. Any others up? There's the one over there we gotta get. There we go.
On completing the objective.
Completed.
I would say, start with whichever one you think you might want to continue on with, and if you don't like it, then of course you can just swap to the other class at any time once you're back in the lobby.
Emergency!
Emergency. Code. Disaster.
Alright, Shiny, let me finish up with this group, and then I'll take on the final boss of the area, and then I'll get out there to get you into the Alliance. You're out into the lobby at this point, correct? Oh, I definitely want to stick around for this fight here. This is a rare boss. Okay, cool. Yeah, give me like 5 to 10 minutes, I'll be out.
Change over. Code due.
Alright, we want to try to break this horn if we can.
Wow, that was amazing.
Nope, doesn't look like we got it. Oh well.
Completed.
And no, it doesn't look like any good discs dropped. I got the this twist driver, but that's about it. Anything over here? Nope, doesn't look like it. All right, let's head for the exit, and then I'll be able to catch up with you out there once I take care of the last boss.
Emergency!
Emergency. Code due.
Good thing that big tree was there. photon points back. Pop a photon blast. Let's finish him off. There we go.
Nice one. You did it! Great work! Now please head on back.
Completed.
Alright, Shiny, what block are you in currently? Of course, let's get everybody into the into Time for War that wants to get in. We'll all meet in the same block. Okay, block 69. Let's head over there. Nice. Let's see. Oh, hey, okay, so Sega actually added even more blocks here. Overnight, it looks like. To be able to handle the load. Alright, so I guess let's just kind of meet over in this general area. Oh, there you are. Okay. So invite number 1. And one for you as well. Alright, and welcome to the Alliance, to both of you. So if you open up your quick menu by hitting your N key, there will be an option to go to the Alliance quarters. In terms of the best things to use in terms of if you wanted to spend any money, you want to look at things that are going to be permanent additions to your character. So in that case, we're talking. You want to look at getting your inventory expansions. You can expand up to 150 items instead of just the 50 that you start with as your max. And then character storage expansion, which you could bring that up to 1,000. You don't have to do all this immediately, and if you do want to get like an inventory expansion and things like that, you would also want to potentially consider getting where was it? Let's see. If you're thinking of doing things like everything on the same character, then of course you would also want to look at mag tickets as well. Once you have a mag, then that's a permanent addition to your character. And then star gems you can get from just playing the game, but if you're looking to get the mission pass, this is also where you would go to be able to get onto the gold tier of the mission passes. And yeah, so this is the new look for the Alliance room here. Time ran out on the Ancient Ruins one, so we went for the floating location. And all I can say is Geronimo! I actually love this. This down here is actually a really great spot. If we wanted to have like a whole bunch of members in a single meeting, I could be up here on this platform, and then we could have sort of everybody around between sitting on the wood over there, sitting on the benches there, and then you know. Whoops, that's not the right one. And then everybody else could grab their photon chairs and just kind of be like sitting out in an audience like this. So I really love the look of this one, especially because you can pretty much just hop off wherever you want to and just have a quick and easy ride down to the bottom. And let's see, we just got new mail. Oh, hey. Let me go ahead and grab you. Since you want to join in as well. Player search. There you are, Alliance Scout. Alright, invite on the way. Let's see. It is feasible to have all classes on one character. That's how I have everything set up on my character, actually. As you can see, I'm maxed at level 75 on everything here. And then, as for the tree that we've got here, we've got this built up where it's a max attack tree, but we're also working on getting this leveled up for experience as well. And in fact, we're able to boost this up to level 4 now. So why don't I go ahead and do that now for everybody. And then we need to give this a little bit of water here. I'm just going to throw in 2,000 Alliance points worth. Eventually I'm going to have to put some more into there. And we're probably going to have to do that before we level this up again to level 5 for experience. But hey, yeah, just keep doing what you're doing, defeating bosses, clearing missions, spending time in the casino, clearing Alliance client orders. All those go towards your weekly Alliance points, which you can contribute 4,500 of each week. And with that, I am done with mine for the week, actually. We also do have 50 slots of Alliance Swords if you happen to be a premium member. So yeah, there's a lot that's available for you in this Alliance here. I can't say it's a sunny day for me over here. It's we got a bit of an overcast right now. And yeah, we got a bunch of posts on the board here. We had like what 20 new players come into the Alliance in the past day or so. So I'm really happy to see that. I am hoping a lot of the old players do come back in now that the PC version is out. But I also understand if this game just wasn't for them. We are not removing anybody from the Alliance until we actually do fill up to 100 members. And at that point, we wouldn't remove anybody unless they've just been offline for like more than a month at that point. So yeah, any of the guys over here, you're still okay for the time being, but we're starting to get up there. We're at 80 members now. Alright, let's get back out to the gate area.
Yo!
And I do want to hand in this client order, or this group of client orders, rather, to Hans.
Later.
Actually, I'm going to go ahead and turn my graphics down a little bit more here. Yeah, I've had this set at 12, but you know what? Let's go ahead and set it down to 5. That might still help somewhat. And hello, FX6C. How you doing today? So what I'm doing now is I'm grabbing all of these plus 30 weapons that I've got, and I'm going to drop them into some 12 stars, so I can start to put together what I'm going to need to get this new sword upgraded. Nothing happened with the sorting here. Let me back out and do this again. Doing pretty well, can't complain. Yeah, we'll grab these Sigma weapons. Now, you want to, at least at this point in the game, you do want to be
What do you
upgrading through the use of 12-star weapons, specifically because Lambda grinders are still sort of a rare thing at this point in the game.
need? Come back soon.
But once you've got a decent collection of them, you would be able to upgrade weapons just directly, or rather upgrade 13-star weapons directly, rather than going through upgrading one weapon to then put it into yet another weapon, essentially. Let's see, I came over here to grab a certain item I've got that helps with the grinding process. Here it is, the Great Aid Enhancers.
What do you need? It seems you've succeeded.
Ah, nice, Knight. So then, go ahead and get your character created on ship number 1. You said you wanted to join the Alliance, right?
It seems you've succeeded. You have some amazing luck. You have some amazing luck. Come back soon.
Okay, so now that we've got that, let me grab the new sword. Sorry to hear that,
What
Hero
do
of
you
Sword.
need?
Okay, that actually overdoes it. Let's see. How do we want to do this? Let's do it this way.
It seems you've succeeded.
push that up to a plus 10.
It seems you've succeeded.
And then I'll do one more round on this.
Amazing luck.
Actually, no, two more, but
It seems you've succeeded.
alright, plus 17. Yeah, that pushes it over.
It seems you've succeeded.
Alright, Shield of... Is that the right one? Hang on. Give me one moment, I want to double check something. This is supposed to be the right one, but I want to make sure I'm actually right about this here, and that I didn't just waste my money. Let's see. Equipment, weapons, swords. Yeah, Shield of Temptation. It's the different name that's throwing me off here. Increases power by 12%. Yeah, this is supposed to be the right one. I think it's a different name and the description is not complete here. Because aside from the shield, it's supposed to also increase automatic photon point recovery and 30% attack photon point recovery every 30 seconds or so.
You have some amazing luck.
Alright, let me put another of these Sigma weapons together.
It seems you've succeeded. You have some amazing luck. You have some amazing luck.
The only way to get Rising Badge number 2 right now is to complete the Tower Defense number 3 on Extra Hard mode. Or Extremely Hard, rather.
You have some amazing luck.
Alright, let's see if this is enough. It looks like it is.
You have some amazing luck.
And this is already a 6 slot.
Come back soon.
Now, I don't want to get rid of my Lightning Espada. It's a good weapon to have across the board. Is there anything else I could get rid of? Not really. The card Revolutio, I want to have that on standby for whenever whenever the hero class comes out. Yeah, you have to do the tower defense missions, and I suspect that future urgent quests are going to have those as well. Just because you only get like 3 per mission right now, and that's way too low for example, if you wanted to get units which require 200 of them. Let me see here. Rising. Yeah, I think you get a couple from doing the rainy urgent quest as well, but it's still not that much. it's something you're definitely going to have to dedicate yourself to if you want to get something through that method. But I suspect before long, we're probably going to get a limited quest that's going to help really speed that along. Alright, I was looking to see if there were any other weapons I could dump into this thing. So, enhancement level. Unfortunately, there really isn't. That's just something I'm going to have to build up when I get some time off screen here to get this thing up to level 35. Once I do, though, it is going to be a significant increase over my Lightning Espada, because I plan to take this up to an 8 slot at that point. It may not be the most powerful 8 slot out there, but if I go like this here, you can see I do actually have a decent number of 8 slots at this point here. So I should be able to at least create something decent. Maybe a 7 slot. We'll have to see. Alright. Now, I did have a couple of other things I needed to work towards here. I need to complete one more daily order, so let me go ahead and do that right now.
Good day, mate.
I can just talk to Fina and just hand in one of these extra ones I've got.
Drop by anytime.
So that clears that. And that gives me another 605,000 Meseta to work with. And then there was also one to complete an advanced quest. So we'll go ahead and do that right now. It doesn't have to be anything special in this advanced quest.
I wish you the best of luck.
So just a quick run to the end should be enough to get it cleared. Oh, and let me grab some NPCs real quick. Not Pietro.
I will not disappoint.
I have arrived.
So again, we're basically just dashing to the end. That's a dead end, so we gotta go through the other path then. Oh, hey, that completes another daily order. Nice. Wow, this path is really windy. One time I don't want a max size advanced quest field.
Emergency!
Okay, that looks like the exit for this area over there. What luck, we got a Rog Belt.
We are currently preparing a large-scale operation for all ARCSOPs to fight enemies in their local regions.
That is a completely useless urgent quest that's popping up here.
Emergency. Code. Due.
But we did just clear that ARC's mission there.
Excellent job.
And so that now gives me another 405,000 Meseta. And our mission pass here just leveled up again. We'll grab the Tri-Boost here. And we'll go ahead and grab this one. So it's the non-cast female one that I'm not grabbing here. And then we still got some tier quests here. Defeat a King Macetan, destroy 5 blue containers. I might not be able to clear that one. We'll have to see. That one's kind of luck-based. Okay, so then I would need to do another run on an advanced quest with S rank. I'll take care of that one later. Okay, let me get rid of these NPCs. And we'll go ahead and start up this one again. Looks like we can run this quest 2 more times today. And I know it's weird. Why am I going for so many Ace of Hunters? And the reason I'm doing that is because these are actually materials that are going to be used in a ring I'm going to be getting in the future. I just wanted to I just want to knock that out now, plus get the titles for this extreme quest, so I don't even have to worry about those in the future. Let's see, I think the shortcake will give me a melee boost. Alright, let's get in there. Alright, so for this one, take down 2 enemies from their weak points.
Stage start.
Ta-da! Here's the next stage order.
There's one. There's the second.
What I am talking about. We're gathering some killer data here.
Alright, on to the next one. And this one I just can't take a death.
Stage start.
Ta-da! Here's the next stage order.
Stage clear.
There we go. That clears that up.
This is what I am talking about. We're gathering some killer data here.
Alright, no healing for this one.
Stage start.
Ta-da! Here's the next stage order. Is that a little difficult for you? No worries.
Oh, I completely forgot about that stage order. Oh well.
Stage clear.
Now, what did I just get here? Because that's an 11 star. We will have to see at the end here. I wonder if that's going to be the last one I needed, actually. Alright, so... same strategy as before, just basically run around the field until time is up.
Ta-da! Here's the next stage order.
Eliminate. Annihilate. Process.
I know it's possible to do it faster, but given what just dropped, I do not want to risk it. I've been in need of a couple more 11, basically 7 to 12 star weapons that are hunter used in order to get my final attack bonus of 2.5%. And given that this thing just dropped, I do not want to risk that at all. Alright, we're clear.
Talking about, we're gathering some killer data here.
Attacking. Annihilate. Obliteration unto all. All of the
Stage
wisdom of
clear.
mankind.
There we go. Alright, and the last one is to take out the last enemy from the front.
Stage
It can be a bit random in where they're facing, so
Here's the next
best effort on that one.
Not bad, bonehead.
Alright, so we're waiting for the next thing to happen. There we go. Alright, next enemy should be coming up fairly soon. There they are. Just like before. That takes them out. And now we got the last target coming up here. And down they go.
we're gathering some killer data here.
This is Hunter Summoner.
Stage clear.
Okay, so now that I can get a closer look at it, I can see now that it's actually a gun blade and not a hunter weapon there. I'll go ahead and take it anyway, though. We'll grab the Torana Bright Shard. And, alright, yeah, we'll go ahead and grab the special weapon there as well. Alright, so I can make one more run at this today, so let's go ahead and do that now. How my boosts doing? About to run out. Alright, let's get this going. For me, it's the combination of the fact that you get two 15% attack boosters, plus 200 raw stats, and that was really useful in the initial level up process and allowing me to use the weapon I've got on here currently really early on. Yeah, that plus the ability that I have access to techniques so I can use rest and shift and things like that. Ultimately, I would want to go Hunter Ichwhirl.
Mission alert. Large-scale deployment operation in progress.
And
All ARCSOPs,
Imperium
report to
Regalis,
Quest
thank
Count
you
to
for the
join
follow.
mission.
Stage start.
Alright, for this one, once again, we take out an enemy on its weak point. There's one. There's two.
Talking about, we're gathering some killer data here.
Stage clear.
And let's make our way over to the next stage. Alright, just can't go down in this one.
Stage start.
Ta-da! Here's the next stage order.
There goes Elder. Let's take out this one now so we can bring out Luther. There they are. And that finishes them off.
Clear.
This is what I am talking about. We're gathering some killer data here.
And over to the next stage we go. Alright, for this one, no healing. Well, I am a Japanese vet, so I do know how a lot of this works here.
Stage order.
But this is, it's just from personal experience. Having access to additional tools is a really good thing, rather than being stuck in not being able to use a technique that could actually be really useful in the moment. Alright, there's the last one.
Stage clear.
This is what I am talking about. We're gathering some killer data here.
Hey Danny, for me it's a bit of an overcast day, actually. Alright, for this one, take no damage for 60 seconds, so we're gonna be running around the arena for a minute here.
Ta-da! Here's the next stage order.
Hey Future, how you doing today? About halfway done here. Once these last 30 seconds are up, then I will go ahead and get on the attack here. Servers are a little bit better, but it's partly because Sega actually added some more blocks to the server. They are still very, very full. Compared to what a normal day would probably be like. No new ships. They added, like, I think it was up to block 112, I think I saw? Or maybe 102, something like that. We can check that again once we get out of here. Alright, for this one, we need to take down the last enemy from the front.
Stage start.
Ta-da! Here's the next stage order.
Not bad, bonehead.
Alright, here's this enemy. There goes that phase. Yes, they basically in each block is its own unique version of the lobby. And essentially you can only party up with players that are on the same block as you. But there are mechanics within the game that also help players to group up even if they're on different blocks. Essentially, you would need to you would accept what's called multi-block matching, and when you do that, then whatever block the action is happening on, you would move to that block and then start the mission from there. Waiting for the next target to show up. Here they come. Alright, one target left. But this guy I gotta be careful just because his sword slash, if I'm not at max HP, he has the potential to actually knock me out. There we go. So, quest complete. Only 2 Ace of Hunters that time. Alright, so Tirana, Ace of Hunters, Final Impact. And I guess we'll grab the 2 special weapons. Alright, let's get out of here. For early eggs, you'll want to look out for, I would say, Wanda, Synchro, and Redren are going to be the ones that you want to look for. And what you can do is you can come over here to Prin, and under this beginner's collection, they actually have all of the different eggs that you can get except for the Rappy egg. That's the one that's missing from the list here.
Goodbye.
Now we were going to take a quick look at the blocks here. Okay, actually they added up to block 102. So an extra 12 blocks on top of what I saw last night.
Good day, mate.
I wanted to head over here to the title counter.
Welcome.
So no new titles yet, but that's kind of expected right now. If we come down here... So I'm not going to get the next title until I get 50 stage orders done. So I'm probably going to get that one tomorrow. And then the next two are going to require another 3 to 4 days for me to complete that. And then eventually I'll get back to these as well, but the current one is just a lot easier to get up to on titles. Yeah, again, keep in mind, performance is going to be much better once you're out on the field and out of the lobbies. It's only in the lobbies where things are really bad right now. And if you can, stick to Franco's Cafe or the casino for the time being.
Thank you very much.
I've been expecting you.
What I will say is at least this launch is a lot better in the sense that at least you don't have situations where enemies just completely stop responding to you for a while. Instead, it's only in the lobbies that this is actually happening. Alright, let me look real quick at my client orders. Alright, so I need to suppress a big Varder, and that's part of the underground shaft, so why don't we do that one to kind of wrap things up for today.
Emergency mission alert. Large-scale deployment operation in progress. All ARCSOPs, report to the quest counter to join the mission.
Yeah, once players are in, the experience is really, really good, aside from the lobby issue.
Let's do this, boss.
It's
All
I will
right,
not
let's do
disappoint.
this.
it's why I've been playing this game for the past 8 years. It's just that good of a game.
We're gonna do this. Let's get this party started.
Come to think of it, I need to do some harvesting, so I guess we'll take the opportunity while we're over here. Okay, one more round and we should get a fever, at which point we'll start into the actual mining here. There we go. Alright, there goes all my stamina there. One more round of fishing, and then we will be off. Nice on the Lillipa shells there. Alright, let's move on. Make our way towards the end. Alright then, Inverness, I really appreciate the follow. That'll be showing up here in just a moment. There it is. I'm gonna skip on that one. That one usually isn't worth the time it takes to complete it.
Emergency. Code. Gesture.
Alright, this one at least, I'm attacking targets that come down. So that way, I'm getting more completion towards an S rank here.
Are you even trying to dodge? This range, you're dead to rights.
Too slow. Too slow. Closing attack. Too slow.
Another 30 seconds or so.
Too slow. Closing attack.
Yeah, nice one! You did it!
There we go.
Completed.
Alright, on to the next area. That looks like the exit over there in the distance. You can tell that it's that it is an exit with the triangle up above the door there. Yeah, each area kind of has its own little gimmick. This area in particular has conveyor belts as well as those doors with the triangles above them to indicate exits.
Ah, yes. I have a message.
Wait a minute. I just picked up a level 15 photon art from a normal super hard mission. So that means that
Well, that's what I call exceeding expectations.
even just the regular missions are dropping these now. Well, that's annoying. I thought I was gonna have to stick to just the ultimate quest to get those.
Completed.
No, I don't want your PSC burst here. We weren't gonna get it anyway. there were no enemies left for me to tackle to get it. Alright, Big Varda, let's do this.
Emergency!
Emergency code due.
And down they go.
Wow! That was amazing!
Alrighty, and so with that is going to take us to the end of this stream here. At this point, I need to get myself ready for work, so that's pretty much going to be it. Let's see if there's anybody that we can raid that I might be able to hand you off to at this point here. Give me one moment, let me take a look at who's actually broadcasting right now. I'm not recognizing any of the names I'm seeing here. Okay, actually no, I do have somebody here. I'm going to pass you along to somebody that I've watched in the past, who's actually more on into Final Fantasy XIV, but he's over here right now checking out PSO2. So why don't we check in with them? This is going to be Mr. Happy1227. Let me get that into the stream here. Where is the button? There it is. Alright, and with that, thank you for joining me today. This is PrinceBrightstar signing off. Let's get this raid started here.